All right, everybody from Gen X, millennials, Gen Z. Hey, if there's any baby boomers out there, which I doubt, welcome to you too, to this episode of Dare Danger Dan. And tonight, or today, depending on when you're watching it, we're gonna be exploring a magical enchanted forest where Teddy Ruxpin is getting chased by my pet monster in the forest from The Hobbit. Not The Hobbit that came out recently, but that 1970s Ralph Bashki Hobbit animated movie that's near and dear to our hearts, at least those of us from Gen X and us early millennials. Me personally, I consider myself a zenial, a little bit on the cusp, all right? Born in 1984. I do remember those shag carpets and the fake wood paneling walls. So that's something millennials might not remember as well. But either way, I got a little bit of both worlds, and I did grow up with that version, the animated version of The Hobbit in mind. And I did get a Teddy Ruxpin for Christmas, and I did get a My Pet Monster for my birthday. So stay tuned, and I'm gonna be drawing that out. And I wanna thank you, Chris Deiter, for sending this dare in. Chris Deiter is probably one of our heavy hitters as far as Danger Dares go. You keep sending them in, and they're always great ideas, and gotta celebrate that. So this episode goes out to you, Chris Deiter, for once more hitting a home run as far as the Danger Dare goes. Boom! So stick around, here we go. I actually had a Teddy Ruxpin.
So it had a tape.
Well, technically, my sister had a Teddy Ruxpin, but we shared it. We both played with it. I think we put a Steve Miller Band tape into its back, and sure enough, it moved its mouth to the Steve Miller Band. So anyone watching that doesn't know what Teddy Ruxpin is, Teddy Ruxpin was he was a bear who wore like a kind of a tan vest, and it was a toy originally. And you put a cassette tape into his back, and he would tell you stories, and he came with various storybooks. And yeah, so I'm half positive that the year that we got Teddy Ruxpin and My Pet Monster, I want to say it was 1986, maybe 1987. And that same year, my mom's cousin Dawn, and if you're watching out there, I remember this, got me an inflatable Godzilla punching bag, which actually, I loved it. That was the best, but obviously I loved it too much, and I popped it within like 2 weeks. So I remember the My Pet Monster, actually, that toy, I got in trouble for not cleaning my room good, and my mom threatened to take all of our toys that we hadn't cleaned up, and she said she was gonna throw them away. And sure enough, she put them all in a trash bag, and I didn't see them again until I was like probably 12. So it went from I think I was probably like 3 or 4 years old. I didn't see that My Pet Monster until I was like 11 or 12. Because I went in the attic because we were like redoing the house, and my parents were like, you gotta help out. Gotta clean out the attic. And I found a trash bag, and I found all my old toys from 1987 or 88. And I was like, oh my God, my old toys. Oh man. That bag alone, honestly, probably make two or 3 grand off of it on eBay nowadays if I still had that. If I found that bag of toys nowadays and everything was in the condition it was in, probably definitely a few grand. But yeah, I'll never forget, Teddy Ruxpin had this light brown felt vest that it had Velcro on the back, and I was like, what a cool vest. I always wanted, I think I'm probably just gonna make one. I'm gonna make a full sized vest that's completely inspired by Teddy Ruxpin's vest. So you didn't see him too often, but they're actually there was a whole universe of Teddy Ruxpin characters and there were dolls associated with them. You could put the tape in the back of them. There was a yellowy orange character named Grubby. There was I think the old dude, I want to say his name was Wendell, but there was just a mad scientist old man named Wendell. All right, so right now I'm gonna draw a golem that most of you are not gonna recognize, but I assure you, this is what golem really looks like. Kind of like a frogman. And we know how I feel about frogmen, terrified. I love that song, actually. That's in a few of my mixes, it's on heavy rotation. The greatest adventure that's ever been told.
Clink the dishes, crack the plates. That's what Bilbo Baggins hates.
Yeah, I don't think anyone liked the new Hobbit movie. Like, everyone loved the Lord of the Rings movies, but nobody liked the Hobbit movies. The mold of your life is in your hands to break. We got a golem. Oh, now we need to have my pet monster. I keep wanting to say monster in my pocket because my friend Sean was actually unleashing monster in my podcast, which should be very interesting. So this is a huge shout out. Sean, the great Sean McGee, is releasing a podcast completely about monsters, which is a concept that's near and dear to my heart. I may or may not be a guest person one of these days. We'll see. So there was like my pet monster was like a plush version of this other toy that I was never allowed to have. For some reason, my parents were like, no way we're getting you moblin, which were like these like rubber monster puppets. They're made out of like super soft latex rubber. And yeah, I didn't have the classic one. I had like the like second or third tier one that was like more purple and pink or something, which I was totally happy with it. Didn't complain at all. Yeah, my pet monsters, so they had these orange handcuffs with velcro. Like neon orange handcuffs for some reason. I don't know why. They were neon orange, but I was like all about them. Really like kind of sowing that kinky gene into kids early on. Like, let's just make it kinky. Yeah, they didn't invent the drugs till at least the 1980s. All right, I think I've done enough here today. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Gen Xers, Gen Zers, millennials, hey, pretty much all the G's that are still alive. Thank you for tuning into this episode of Dare, Danger, Dan. Yo, Chris Dieter, the Deepmeister, the Dare Meister, sent us once more another dare. So we got Teddy Ruxpin getting chased by my pet monster in the forest from the Hobbit. Not the modern Hobbit, but the 70s animated Hobbit. And boy, did we knock this baby out of the park. Thank you everybody for tuning in. Don't forget to share, like it, follow us, share it, follow some more, tell your friends to follow. And on top of that, send in your danger dares because I can't make the show unless you do. So send them on in, send me a message, comment on this video, tell a friend. But I'll see you soon, all right? So stay tuned and I'll see you next time.